Hello and welcome to the ActionVFX live stream. I am Tom Gowes, your content and community manager, and welcome. I hope that you are doing well and have a wonderful day right now. First, before we dive into today's show, let me know, can you hear me loud and clear? Can you see me? Let me know if everything is fully operational. And while I'm at it, we have a good show for you. The next hour, we're going to be talking about the upcoming course that we have in development. So that's what we have in development, but we kind of want to hear from you. What do you have in development right now? What are you working on? Is it visual effects? Are you learning new software, a new tool? Or maybe you're working on a short film. We would love to hear what you're working on in the chat. And yeah, we have... Before we get into the course, minor announcement. It is your last chance, if you are a subscriber to the Essentials catalog, to download Aerial Explosions Volume 1 and the 3D RPG Rocket. You have until the 1st of April to download these. So if you are subscribed to the Essentials catalog, you can go download these now. They're free for it. So yeah, you have until the 1st of April. Go check it out. I absolutely love these ones, especially the aerial explosions. I've had a lot of fun with them in the past. So go over to the website and check them out. So as I just mentioned, we are going to be talking about the brand new course that we have in development. But I'm not just going to be talking by myself. I have for you the instructor of Python and AI integration for Nuke, Simon Yokoshis. Simon, hello.
Hey.
How are
nice
you?
To meet you. I'm fine. So I just, I just finished the course, and I'm really curious about how everything's ending up after editing.
So, yeah. Oh no. Yeah. Well, this has been a brand new process for all of us involved. Like, you have experience in creating courses in the past. Yep. You've done a couple now for Rebel Way, but this is the first time kind of we're doing some of the editing, and then kind of like creating this perfect package for this brand new course. So, I mean, should we show people a trailer?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Definitely. All right. Okay. This is the brand new trailer.
Great artists shouldn't have to wait for great tools. They should be able to build them themselves. My name is Simon Yokoshis, and I've spent years watching talented artists hit the same ceiling because nobody ever taught them how to unlock what Nuke can actually do. This course changes that. We'll build tools inside Nuke from the ground up, automate tedious stuff, design custom graphical user interfaces, and then we'll go further by developing and integrating AI directly into your compositing workflow. A chatbot inside Nuke that can talk to various models built by you. And when you finish, you won't be just a better compositor, you'll be the person your studio depends on. This is Python and AI integration for Nuke from ActionVFX, built for artists who want more.
Oh yeah. So Simon, this is I mean, yeah, this is incredibly exciting and something that how long have you been working on this now?
I mean, the overall course.
Yeah.
I think it was like 3 months. Took me. Yeah. So definitely there was quite a lot of pre-preparation, right? So I think the cool thing about this course is like there's AI integrated in this course. So this is brand new. You don't really see a lot of AI courses, but it is not something that is an AI hype, right? So I think at the moment AI is so hyped, and it's really getting annoying, right? So I try to make this make this real of how AI can really help you as an artist and as a programmer. So there was definitely a little bit of preparation involved. But yeah, I think this is all coming out pretty nicely now.
Yeah, no, this is we've been. I've now spent a lot of time reviewing lessons and and the whole course, and quite honestly, seeing some of the gizmos that you can create and things, like the actual chatbot as well. you know, I don't use Nuke, but I'm like, okay, now how can I want to be able to get in there and create stuff and have that little personal assistant. So as it kind of says down the bottom here, you can sign up right now for the course to get notified, to learn about what is inside, get the syllabus and things there. Pre-sale is on March 31st. That's Tuesday. So, you know, you have some time to go and find, I believe as well, because I was ready. You can scan that QR code if you're watching this on your TV or desktop. You can scan that QR code and that will take you directly to the sign up page. Check it out. It flashes. But yeah, this this course is, you know, it's absolutely stacked with a bunch of new helpful tools. So Simon, let's talk through like more about what this course is meant to do for artists. Like, so, you know, what is a compositor without Python skills like lose in their day-to-day?
Yeah, I think artists without any Python knowledge, they're losing on quite a lot of things, because Nuke is perfect for automating stuff, right? So Python is directly integrated. You don't really need to install anything or something. You can just open up the script editor and write your scripts, right? This is perfect. So, and the Nuke API, this is like the way of how you can communicate with Nuke. It's quite flexible. So you have quite a lot of things to, you know, create nodes, open working files, update certain knobs, do all kinds of stuff. And I mean, it's actually not that hard. So you just need someone to teach you how that actually works. And then, you know, continue your journey on, you know, learning Python and also how to apply it inside Nuke. So yeah, I think you just need someone to teach you how to do that.
Yeah.
And once you are on a level, you can definitely expand on that yourself.
So let's say, like, you know, I've admitted that I'm not a Nuke compositor, but let's say that I am and stuff. Do I need to have like previous experience in Python? We're talking from the trailer mentioned from the ground up. So tell me more about like that beginning. You know, what stage do we need?
Yeah, so this course is definitely for someone who has never touched Python at all, because we start at the very, very beginning. So, you know, we are talking about all the concepts, like what are variables, if statements, print statements, and so on and so on. So there are so many things that you can learn on. And this is all packed in this course. So you don't need any prior Python knowledge. If you have some, great, or if you've used it before, but, you know, discontinued for some reason, you should, in all cases, this is definitely for anybody really who wants to, you know, either learn Python or relearn it and do it the proper way, definitely.
So let's kind of like expand on that. Let's paint the picture of that perfect person who's like, who, you know, there are people watching right now as well who are kind of like, okay, is this for me? Like, what scenarios can you imagine them in?
I mean, pretty much every compositor can gain so many things of Python, right? It already starts as a compositor. It already starts with simple things like, you know, you're opening a working file, or you start from scratch and you create nodes, right? You create blur nodes every day. You create merge nodes every day, and the default values are sometimes not set up correctly. So for example, let's say you have a blur node, and usually you want to blur the alpha channel, right? When you bring in a blur node, it always blurs all channels, right? This is a very simple example, but you hit that every day, right? And this course, for example, teaches you, I mean, it's not very complicated, but it teaches you how to set up proper knob defaults, right? So you set it up once, and then whenever you create a blur node now, it would always start with an alpha channel blurring and not everything, right? So these are these tiny little things that definitely speed up your workflow on an everyday basis, right? Another example would, for example, be, you know, creating a merge node, and usually you want to have the B box of your B pipe, right, from the background, and usually you don't want to combine the B box from A and B, and that's the default on Nuke, right? And in many cases, it doesn't make sense to combine both B boxes. In some cases it does, but on a usual basis, you bring in A over B, and you want to keep your bounding box from B, right? So these are just some tiny things, and we continue with some other things, right? So for example, when you finish your rendering, it would actually be nice to automatically bring that in, right? So usually a compositor, once the rendering has finished, they go to their file browser and they manually browse to that location. Then they need to drag that over to the node graph. And that always takes, I mean, if you add this up, if you're rendering like, I don't know, let's say 50 times a day, you always need to do these steps manually, right? So in this course, for example, I show you how to get this all automated. So whenever a rendering finished, then it will automatically create a read node and set everything up automatically with that rendering. So you're not getting interrupted, right? And I think this is an important part here. With Python, you can create certain workflows to really stay in focus and not deal with these boring things like getting in some renderings into your node graph, right? So I mean, there are tons of other things where automation really helps you concentrating on your thing, right? Creating great pixels, and you don't really need to do all these tedious stuff, right? So Python definitely shines on that.
No, that's great, and I feel like that is the core of what this course is. It's like it's automating those kind of the boring stuff in some ways,
definitely.
where it just kind of like it gets you able to, as an artist, to focus in, create the best stuff, and because I mean, and I feel like there's also, let's talk a bit about like the AI integration side. So that is kind of it's as you kind of said, like AI is everywhere right now. You can't really escape AI. So how are students going to benefit from having like this AI assistant in Nuke?
I think primarily not really having just an AI assistant. I mean, that's also definitely nice, but seeing how easy it is actually to integrate this stuff, right? So the first time when I was approached with integrating some AI into my workflow as a programmer, you're hitting a wall, and you don't really know where to start actually, right? So again, coming back to this concept, if somebody shows you how to do that, it's actually not too complicated, but it's also not very easy to find how to do that, right? You definitely need someone, or it's better to have someone who simply teaches you how to do that, because if you for example, so in this course we're creating an AI chatbot using the OpenAI API, hard word. But the documentation, if you read through it, it's not very simple, right? So there's quite a lot of content that you need to grasp before you can actually start doing that. So definitely, I think learning by simply someone seeing someone doing that, I think that's definitely something that helps you and makes you create this very easily.
Yeah, no, I guess it's like also as you kind of demonstrate in the course, and that you can use it by having like a chatbot for one, right, directly in Nuke. You can, like, I think in one of the demos you kind of ask it a question about Python, so you're kind of like using it to I guess it's like it's an additional confidence, like to have something that can pull in some code, pull in like help you support and develop your own Python skills, but also it is having that little handy co-pilot.
Yeah, definitely. And I mean, this course is not fully about, I mean, it's also about creating these tools, but my primary goal is actually to teach Python programming, because even in 2026, it's still very valid to learn Python programming. I wouldn't really recommend hearing all these annoying AI commitments like software development is dead. It's it's so far away from being dead, right? If you know programming and if you have these LLMs right at your fingertips, I can see it by myself, right? It amplifies your workflow, right? I can now do so much more. But if I didn't have this programming knowledge, all I could do is, type something into my chatbot and then hope that I get something out which works, right? And this doesn't really make sense because oftentimes it works, but if you cannot really verify the content, then it does not really make too much sense, right? I need to ask the right questions, get something out, and then take this and use it to my into my own workflow, right? And this is how I do it pretty much on an everyday basis now, right? I ask the LLMs questions, and then I take out the snippets and I use it and update it to my needs, because usually what you get out is not 100% what you need in your code, right? So you definitely need some understanding of what you're doing here and being able to verify the quality of what you get out and also be able to update the code to your needs. And then if you have this knowledge, then it can definitely amplify your workflow. Definitely, I see that every day now.
So let me as you have, how long have you been using Python now?
So I've been using Python, I don't know really, but I've been using it on an everyday basis full time since 2017.
Wow.
So back in 2017,
nearly 10 years.
I joined Pixelmondo as a Nuke TD. Then after some time became like a pipeline TD. So I started with creating Nuke tools, creating Nuke pipelines, and then leveled up to being a pipeline TD. Did some more core pipeline stuff, also 3D stuff, 3D pipeline stuff, and then went to Scanline Visual Effects as a senior 2D pipeline TD. So again, coming back to more like the 2D field. And now I'm a senior pipeline engineer, and again concentrating on 2D, but also more heavily on core pipeline. So not tied to ADCC like Nuke or Maya or Houdini, but more like the overall thing and the background structure of how everything gets put up together. So I have actually quite many years of overall experience in many fields now. So yeah, definitely interesting. I really love that work that I do.
I was going to say, so I mean, just for those that don't know as well, like you have had your hand in The Mandalorian, Andor, the top ones that come into my mind. I'm a big Star Wars fan, so I'm like, yes. But out of the tools that you have been creating, what are you most proud of in terms of the tools that have been a part of your professional career? What are you proud to have brought to the team?
So pipeline wise, with my companies, I'm not fully allowed to talk about that myself, but I can definitely I'm definitely very proud of what I also do in my spare time is Craggle Visual Effects. So and that's something that I've also been doing for 10 years now. So I've been developing professional software plugins for Nuke and selling these. And that's quite a lot of fun, right? So I'm, I have a compositing background. I've been a compositor for 5 years. So I've been doing compositing from 2012 to 2017. But then I joined full-time the pipeline side. But so I know Nuke quite well. I've been using it for many years. And back in that day, I realized that there is quite a lot of potential for not creating I mean, I started with small tools, but what I do with Kregel visual effects tools, these are large tools that have several thousand lines of code and hundreds and hundreds of features. So I definitely enjoy that. And still enjoying that, right? So recently I just hit the 10-year mark with Kregel visual effects tools. Yeah. So definitely, thank you. Definitely very, very proud of that. And it's really nice. So via Kregel visual effects tools, I met quite a lot of interesting people. So there are quite a lot of people who are quite grateful of these tools. And I got in contact with a lot of people who requested nice features. And, I also got in contact, more in personal contact with quite a lot of people. So there was definitely a nice experience, right?
I was going to say, because one of the big things with Kregel is that you've also introduced
Yes.
ActionVFX into it as well, which you can import the library, I believe. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So this is
incredible.
This is Smart Elements. This is an element browser, and I mean, I think it's the perfect fit, right? I developed the software, and you guys develop the content, right? So I think it's a perfect match. So yeah, that was last year. I sat down, and that was actually something that I always wanted to do, right? Providing elements via ActionVFX. That's actually quite interesting. So
yeah. Well, no, and it's incredible to be able to like directly import, and again, like you're creating tools that means that you don't have to exit the software. You get to, I believe you said it perfectly earlier as well. It's like you get to stay in the state of flow.
Yeah, exactly. You are not interrupted and need to go out of Nuke, right? So yeah, and you can browse everything live, right? So I think this is also a really nice combination, right? So all the data gets queried live from your website. So when you guys put up a new library, it's immediately available in Smart Elements. So
brilliant. No, good. Yeah, that is incredible as well. And yeah, congratulations on the 10-year.
Thank you.
Yeah. So now you've said already, like, Kregel tools helped you with like connecting, and that's how you got in touch with us as well. And we've been talking for a while, I believe, but like at the start of this year was the approach of the academy and stuff.
Yeah.
Like, we are now, as just in case people watching aren't aware, like we are now starting to do more courses. So yours being the second one that we have now produced, which is fantastic. And how so I've got to ask you, how's that experience been?
It's nice. Yeah, I really enjoy teaching. So I definitely I would definitely like to do another course. I mean, you already said that I've been teaching before. So I started with Pluralsight, or back in the days it was Digital Tutors. That was also, I think, like 10 years ago. Then 2 years ago Rebelway, and now ActionVFX. So yeah, I definitely enjoy putting my knowledge out there. And I mean, Python is such a nice programming language to learn overall, because it's so flexible, but it's actually easy to learn, right? There are other programming languages out there, for example, C++, which take quite a lot more time to really get the sense. But yeah, Python is definitely a very, very good programming language as a beginner. But interestingly, also as a senior developer, right? And it's the programming language in the visual effects industry. I mean, pretty much every application supports Python out of the box. So definitely, when you have some Python knowledge, you cannot only apply it to Nuke, but to all other applications, which is quite nice.
So let's zoom in on that a little bit. So let's, like, after someone's taken the course, what do you imagine, like, what is the box that they have just opened? What are they going to be able to do now that they're unaware of?
So once they have finished the course, there are certain things. There are several things, right? So the first thing is they have like a nice collection of tools that they can use day in, day out. But I think the more interesting thing here is like they have the knowledge to extend this, right? And I think this is definitely the more interesting and more valuable thing, right? So this course is not about creating these tools. This course is more about the background and getting this knowledge so that you can then apply it afterwards. And I think this is definitely key in this course. So I put a lot of focus on teaching and telling you why certain things are done and what's all available inside Python, right? So it's definitely, this is the more interesting part here, to be fully equipped with things that you can after the course that you can then do.
Yeah, and for those that are kind of thinking of like progressing their career, this is like one of those tools that like is going to be sought out, like your role in itself. So talk us through like what you actually do on a day-to-day, like normally as well. So many people would be wanting a studio job like yourself.
Yeah, so again, I'm not allowed to go fully into detail here, but let's give you a broad overview of what I'm doing. So I'm working in the background, right? I make sure that that the artists have great tools, that everything works, and luckily, I'm in the position now, being a senior with. So at the moment, we are quite a small team. So this is actually quite interesting. Coming from a larger team at Scanline VFX, with my current company at INDG and Grip, we are quite a small pipeline team. But this is also really interesting now. So I work with another senior pipeline TD or pipeline engineer, and we are fully concentrating on creating like a professional pipeline. So both me and the other employee, we have been in the programming field for several years, and interestingly, we have been working together in my very first company. That was also like 15 years ago. So we now got back together in the same company, which is quite a nice experience. But nonetheless, so we are fully concentrating on creating like a professional pipeline and building everything from the ground up. So there are several applications involved. So 3ds Max and Nuke and Houdini, but also a lot of custom tooling around it, right? So that definitely keeps us busy. So I'm not fully concentrating on one application. I'm concentrating on a lot of different things. And there's also quite a lot of USD involved. So yeah, it's quite interesting, definitely.
Yeah, good. No, amazing. And I'm sure, like, there are people watching right now kind of thinking the same of like, okay, this is where, if you're wanting to be able to do those things, this is the course that kind of opens that door.
Yeah, definitely.
And gets your foot in, learning from an expert who does it on a daily as well, which is brilliant. Because you kind of talked about other coding languages. It took me immediately. I had a flashback moment, almost like going like learning Houdini and Vex, because that's Vex code, isn't it?
Yep.
And I remember going like that. That is tricky.
Definitely.
That was very like intense, complicated. And then on the same course, it then started introducing Python, and that language is very kind of friendly. It's very kind of like everything makes a lot of sense.
And it's also the thing, right, which I mentioned previously. So Vex, for example, you can only apply it in Houdini, right?
Yeah.
And there are other programming language, right? So for example, in Maya, you have PyMel. You can be an expert in PyMel, but once Maya gets less interesting, it's difficult to switch to other things, right? You can be an expert at another programming language, but when that application goes away, I mean, you can always learn other programming languages, right? Don't get me wrong, but you know, Python is so stable and in every DCC, in every application, so it definitely makes quite a lot of sense. And especially, it's the programming language for AI, right? And let's face this, AI will probably not go away. So
it's here to stay. Yeah.
I mean, it is like that, right? There's so much hype around it, but there's also quite a lot of interesting things and workflows that you can do with it. So having Python as the background for AI, Python is the most popular programming language at the moment.
Yeah, and so, I guess, like, you know, it means that we can, well, as it's been highlighted, I highlighted it a second ago, but, you know, taking it into Resolve. Once you've got the foundations that you're kind of like you'd be teaching, you can just go into other ones. I'm not sure of how many out there can accept Python and things. I know Blender does, but that's also kind of, you know, so no matter, you know, if you're watching this and kind of thinking like as well, like, oh, okay, I'm not going to be able to get anything from that. There's a lot more there's more variety out there than sticking to just Nuke. Obviously, this one focuses on
it
getting
focuses on Nuke. It definitely
it
focuses on Nuke, and I mean, Nuke is a special program, right? And I've been using it for so many years now, and I will in the future. But it's also like, you know, Python, you can definitely apply it in a lot of other fields, and it's also not only visual effects, right? I mean, visual effects itself is such a small field, right? I mean, Python is used in so many other things, right? So, for example, also data science and machine learning, definitely AI. So there are so many other fields where you can apply Python. So when you learn it, you're definitely not bounding yourself to only the visual effects area. So it's definitely a very interesting language.
Yeah, and you know, when it kind of like when somebody finishes this course, what is it that you hope that they feel they hope that they've achieved? Like, what was kind of like that big takeaway that you're really hoping students get from the course?
So I think my main goal is here that they are not really afraid of programming, right? I know many people think like you need to be good at math when doing programming. That's definitely not true. But my main goal is pretty much like giving a student the perfect knowledge, how they can extend from there, right? Because we can only do so many things in a course, right? So you will definitely not learn everything in Python, but you get a very good understanding and ground, and can then further develop on your own, right? So that's definitely a primary goal of this course, to get a very good understanding of programming and Python.
Fantastic. No, and you know, we've had a couple of people join the stream since and stuff. So just as a refresher, if you've entered recently as well, I know that for example, Thomas, I'm going to single you out. People were joining, wondering what's going on. Let's play the trailer one more time so everyone can understand what this course is all about.
They should be able to build them themselves. My name is Simon Yukoshis, and I've spent years watching talented artists hit the same ceiling because nobody ever taught them how to unlock what Nuke can actually do. This course changes that. We'll build tools inside Nuke from the ground up, automate tedious stuff, design custom graphical user interfaces, and then we'll go further by developing and integrating AI directly into your compositing workflow. A chatbot inside Nuke that can talk to various models built by you. And when you finish, you won't be just a better compositor, you'll be the person your studio depends on. This is Python and AI integration for Nuke from ActionVFX, built for artists who want more.
absolutely jam-packed of loads of technical stuff in there, and and again, I can't believe that it's so, like, as you kind of been saying, it's from that ground up, entry level. Like, all of us on the team now know some Python, and incredibly exciting that it's happening. It's coming out very soon. We're in the stages now, as mentioned below. You can sign up, scan the QR code, and if you sign up now, you secure that early bird pricing. Pre-sale launches next Tuesday, or this Tuesday technically. This coming Tuesday, so March 31st, you can pay 30% off, and fantastic. So yeah, Simon, we've talked about what we're working on, but now it's kind of like a good chance to review some of the community's work. What do you say?
Yeah, definitely. Let's go for it.
So if people, some people are joining through YouTube, others are already aware that we have got a Discord where we run a monthly VFX challenge. This has been running on for over a year now, which is pretty great. But every month there is a new set of practice footage that you can choose from. You select one, you select multiple, and you could just get a chance to be creative, show off your skills, win some great prizes. Again, that's all happening on Discord. Scan this QR code. Can you tell that we've got a new tool? You can scan this QR code and it'll take you straight over to our Discord, so definitely recommend checking that out. If you are interested in flexing and practicing some VFX skills. So we've narrowed down some of the submissions from this past month, and it's just a chance to kind of review them, see what's going on, and then we'll announce our big winner. So these people are going to be winning, one of these people will be winning a ActionVFX Academy sweatshirt, which, we heard everyone saying that Simon, we kept saying about our t-shirts. Like, every single time we announced the t-shirts, we'd be like, they're super soft. And then I believe last month there were comments going, we know, it's super soft. So now we've got sweatshirts. So these sweatshirts, I call them jumpers. I mean, they're pretty cozy. That's going to be the new word associated to these ones. And also, you're going to be getting the Python and AI integration for Nuke course. So the course that we've just been discussing, you could be getting access to, and get to hear Simon some more as well, and get to learn all about making your workflow optimized. So without further ado, let's review some of these works. So here we go. This one is
We're flying over. We're flying over.
Very nice. Very, very nice. So we do love a good breakdown as well, and fully appreciate seeing that. Like, I didn't, the render time as well. Ouch. But this, Simon, what do you reckon?
It's nice. I think, water simulations, they're always quite challenging and interesting. Yeah. Definitely. I'm not so much the 3D artist. I'm more like the Nuke compositor, definitely. Mm-hmm. So, but I know that it's quite hard to get this right. So yeah, very nice. Well done.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Because, water sims are, kudos for putting that time into it as well, because they're very, I mean, Simon, have you done sims before? Because I mean, I've I've done a couple where it's trial and error constantly before you finally commit.
It takes a lot of time, right?
Yeah.
You can spend years on it. Definitely.
Yeah. go full Avatar on it. So no, really great job. Because I mean, 100 hours of baking.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I'm very impressed by that. Like, there's a really nice animation coming out as well. Yeah. No, really good job. Kind of like inserting something, because if the fact that everything's very clean, obviously the you worked very well with like the size and scale of stuff, because there would be lots of spray kind of coming up from things, but you've done a good job by like matching that size, those waves coming out, and the size of your whale, big whale in that lake. I hope it gets out. But yeah, great job. So moving on, we have Matt, MCM. Matt, very, very nice. Matt's done a couple of submissions for us now, and I swear he's secretly making a short film or something, because they're all kind of like connected in this like cyber, like Ian Hubert style like world building, and I love seeing like every new edition just kind of like expands that world even more. Simon, what do you think to this this world that you're seeing?
Yeah, it's great. It definitely reminds me of some nice sci-fi movies. Really nice integrated. Definitely like the overall look. Really nice.
I mean, you're going to put in a word for Andor?
Sorry again?
Gonna put in a word for Andor, but yeah. I feel like something tells me they're not going to do another season of that. But maybe
now they do. Yeah.
Oh no, but again, really great job. This is very, very nice. Like I feel like there's great integration, especially with those trees. That's very difficult to to try and mask around and stuff. So yeah, kudos for putting the time in to integrate it into that area. I feel like sometimes I'm like, Rodo can take a very long time, and I'm like, okay, no, never mind. But maybe there's masking techniques and stuff like that. I would love to kind of like hear how you approached it. But yeah, great job. And sorry, I've just noticed that this ship is the big ship flying in the sky. But yeah, really cool. Yeah, great job, Matt. I can't wait for the next iteration in your saga. And then finally we have Webbo. Wow. Okay. And yeah, great job. Simon.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, what were you going to say?
Usually you always say like, sound is half the picture. So I definitely think the sound itself, it underlines the whole scene. I really enjoy that. Definitely this shot here, the landing shot, that definitely caught my eye. It's very well, very well integrated. I think it's also very hard to make the reflection really perfect. I think Webo did really a nice job here.
Yeah, no, this you know, we were talking about this one, that reflection down there, that you know, all of that, the attention to detail, really nice. And you know, Webo has again, similar to Matt, has submitted to a fair few challenges now. I'm pretty sure consistently since we've been running these challenges, and you know, this one is definitely like this is so strong, and the fact that it's a sequence of multiple shots. There's tying in of the other practice footage options as well. It's interesting that everyone's kind of gone for the similar shots, but this one integrating the pilot and stuff there, really nice touch. And then yeah, this one's great. That the tracking looks fantastic. The reflections, very nice, smooth land coming into land. It looks like it's from Avengers. Very cool. So, as mentioned, the winner of this challenge, or this month's challenge, is going to be getting ActionVFX Academy sweatshirt, jumper, and the Python and AI integration for Nuke course. Before I announce that winner, though, let me give you a taste of what is to come, because you know, we have, by joining the live stream, everyone gets a little bit of a heads up of what the next challenge is going to be, Simon. So, you know, we announced these on the 1st of every month. It goes out, and then the last Monday they have to submit, and then by the time we do the live stream, we announce the winner. That's how it works. That's how it always goes. So by joining the live stream, you will usually get like a good week head start. So for next month, the challenge is to choose from high speed shootout, couple running through the woods, and supervillain with powers. So with electricity powers, to be precise. But yeah, again, you can scan the QR code on the image, and they'll take you straight over to Discord. But you have a month to get creative with these. There are 10 clips. Well, in total, there are 20, 30. There are 40 clips to choose from. Get creative, do whatever you need, and yeah, we'll cannot wait to see what you submit for next month. So this month's winner, though, the winner of the ActionVFX Academy sweatshirt and Python and AI integration for Nuke course is, would you like to do a drum roll, Simon? Yeah, that's great. Webo. Oh wait, no. Oh, sorry, I clicked the wrong button. Sorry, Matt. Webo, your sequence has been fantastic. We absolutely, again, the sequence itself, perfect. That end shot, though, that is definitely the thing that stood above everything else. Great submission, and again, seeing how often you have been submitting and seeing this growth is like fantastic, and what this challenge is all about. So yeah, well done, congratulations. We'll be doing the official announcement over on Discord, but yeah, absolutely great work. So you know, it's going to be good. What can you tell Webo about, you know, he's now going to be getting the course, he's going to be getting the sweatshirt. Like, what are you hoping, you know, Simon, that he will be able to do next month, maybe?
We'll see. Yeah, I'm not quite sure. Maybe like the woods running. We'll see.
So we got yeah, next month's challenge entries or practice footage clips are high speed shootout, couple running through the woods, and super villain with electricity powers. Pretty good. I mean, what are you feeling? What would you be eyeing up?
I think I would do the couple running in the woods. Yeah, I think these action scenes, you can always do quite a lot of interesting stuff.
Yeah. No, nice. Well, I mean, it's now down to everyone here to get creative. The official announcement will be on the 1st, but you guys get that little heads up by being here on the live stream. So, that is everything for today's live stream. We're coming up to the top of the hour now. So, Simon, thank you so much for joining us today. And thank you so much for sharing your knowledge with the course as well.
Yeah, thanks for being here. It was really nice doing this course, but also doing the live stream here. Definitely quite a nice experience.
Good. No, well, it's been a pleasure to have you, and also, for reviewing and voting in the submissions too. So yeah, thank you for taking the time. And again, thank you for everyone who has been watching today, who has entered in the VFX challenge as well. One more time, if you want to sign up for the Python and AI integration for Nuke course, you can scan that QR code and it'll take you straight over to the landing page where you can sign up. It's really easy. And then pre-sale launches on Tuesday. So I reckon that we go out with one last play of that trailer, and we'll end it there, Simon. So where can people find you as well?
So on my website, kregel.com. Yeah.
Fantastic. Okay.
Yeah. That's pretty much.
Fantastic. Cool. Well, I mean, you'll be active on Discord, I hope, as well. Pretty soon.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely. Yeah. Definitely. Once the course starts, I try to do my best answering all the questions because usually when you start programming, there are some questions coming up. Definitely.
Absolutely. So
it's always nice to have a helping hand then.
One thing that we've been talking about trying to do more of is doing more hangouts on Discord as well. So if that's people, after this live stream and stuff, if you want to hear more from Simon and hear more about the course, troubleshoot anything from the course as well, or just pick everyone's brain, hop on over and we will be able to help you over on Discord. There we go. Got that sticker coming up. So once again, thank you very much everyone for joining us today. And one last time, here is the trailer for Python and AI integration for Nuke.
Should be able to build them themselves. My name is Simon Yukoshis and I've spent years watching talented artists hit the same ceiling because nobody ever taught them how to unlock what Nuke can actually do. This course changes that. We'll build tools inside Nuke from the ground up, automate tedious stuff, design custom graphical user interfaces, and then we'll go further by developing and integrating AI directly into your compositing workflow. A chatbot inside Nuke that can talk to various models built by you. And when you finish, you won't be just a better compositor, you'll be the person your studio depends on. This is Python and AI integration for Nuke from ActionVFX. Built for artists who want more.
Thank you very much for joining us today, and thank you once again, Simon. So cool. Take care, everyone.